is your emergency broadcast system.
You are listening to the hashtag Biz with the Beard podcast. Business as you never heard before. Now, belt up and shut up. It's going to be a bumpy, flipping ride.
May God be with you all.
Welcome, friends, and thank you for joining me once again. However, I was a bit worried that I wouldn't be able to make it here tonight. Fortunately, due to a hole in the prosecutor's case, I am here, so lucky for you. This is the 48th episode of the business podcast that is authentic, shameless, unapologetic, and raw. This is the hashtag Biz with the Beard podcast, business as you've never heard before. I am your host, the Beard, Curfew Smith. Now, for a lot of people, I get how hard it is to find someone who's funny, adorable, and a total badass. So my only advice for you is don't forget to follow me and the show. All right. So actually, though, in all seriousness, I wanted to give a sincere shout out to all of our listeners and now viewers. I'm truly appreciative of every single one of you, all the support you guys give us and you have shown to me and the show. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe on any of the platforms that are out there. There's many of them. You know, we are on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, or whatever it is you listen to, right? Then, if you like the show and got something out of it, please give it 5 stars and remind all of your friends and connections on social media to listen and subscribe as well. And as you may have caught, I did say viewers earlier, and that means hashtag Biz with the Beard podcast in its entirety is now on YouTube as well. So go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there as well. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and then share with all your friends. Now, as many of you know, especially now that we're on video, I have a pretty nice beard, right? And during the past 2 seasons, I would get samples of beard products from many different beard companies from all over the country, and people wanted me to try it and promote it. All right. And I was very appreciative, and a lot of them were very wearable. They were nice, and, some weren't so much, but none of them, I wasn't unappreciative for what they did. And I thought that was really cool. They would send me out stuff. And then one day out of the blue, I received an email. I believe it was an email, maybe it was a message from a small company in Illinois called Honyocker Beard Co that wanted to send some out to me, all right, and send some samples. And I received the package. And let me tell you first, the package was amazing. The stuff came in this little tiny burlap sack. There's a personalized card. I think it was kind of like a chalkboard card, which made it kind of cool looking. And then all these samples. I think I got a t-shirt as well. And you might have seen me wear that t-shirt every now and then. One of the samples was called Humidor. And some of you may know that I smoke a stogie once a week if I meet all my accomplishments for the week, right? And I was obviously drawn to this scent. And once I tried it, man, I was just hooked. I never, ever tried anything like this. And I didn't want to wear anything else. I mean, that was the only thing I wanted to wear. So jump forward to about a year or so, maybe not even, I don't think it was even a year. The owner and I were talking, and we decided it would be really cool to do a collaboration together and have a scent based off the podcast and myself. So he asked me, tell me about yourself. And obviously I mentioned the cigar, my love for bourbon. That cigar goes with the bourbon as well. That I'm a business consultant. I was looking for something that was, I would say, a little sophisticated, but yet still manly, right? We don't want any sissy boys. We want to be able to wear the tie, but still be able to change a tire, right? Or run a chainsaw. Something that would say or smell like if someone would sniff you, man, that is a confident man. That's what a man should smell like. Well, the man is an artist, guys. And he went straight to work and created the new scent called hashtag Biz. And that debuted a few weeks ago and sold out in record pace. The reviews came in all over YouTube and throughout the beer community. And on the second release, it sold out within, I believe, 2 days. He has now released it a third time. And I'm not sure where we're at with this, but if history tells you anything, man, you need to go out and get it because it's going to sell out again fast. So with that, I wanted to have the owner, Adam, on because he is an entrepreneur. And even though I don't like to be showing up, he has a killer beard that is way better than mine. He's had an amazing journey to where he's been, to where he's gotten, and a bright future as well. So with that, hailing from Pekin, Illinois, he is the owner of the award-winning beard product company, Honyocker Beard Company, that produces and sells the #Biz with the beard podcast scent called #Biz. He was previously a personal trainer and general manager at Gold's Gym. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm extremely excited to introduce to you the owner and CEO of Honyocker Beard Company, Mr. Adam Hahn. Welcome to the #Biz with the Beard podcast, buddy.
Well, thank you for having me, man. It's always an honor when somebody offers to have me on one of their shows, and especially a fellow bearded man like yourself.
Well, hey, and yours puts mine to shame, man.
Well, one thing I've learned about that, man, is all beards are awesome, dude. So it doesn't really matter. I'm sure if you decided to go with a little less of the business look and just let it grow, like, it would look just as good as mine. So we'll put that one aside, man. But either way, a couple dudes with killer beards hanging out, what beats that? But
right.
I will say, man, I know you have some Illinois ties, man. So I just appreciate you not saying Pekin, Illinois.
Pekin, Illinois, right?
Yeah. That's what I get the most, man. But
are you serious?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. But whatever, as long as they know it's Illinois, and I'd rather not be in Illinois either. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you having me on, buddy. It's an honor to be on here. Cool. I love seeing your success and stuff. So it's a treat for me to get to come on and hang with you, bud.
Well, this collaboration has just been fun. I think it's been kind of surprising to us both of how well it's been received. But, before I start getting into that, I got to ask you something, and I probably should have asked you a long time ago. And since we're talking about pronunciation of words, and this is something I've never asked, and I probably haven't asked because your shit is so good. But what in the hell is an Honyocker? And what is I got to understand what's behind the name. So because I would say when I first started seeing it, I would call it Honyocker. I don't know if anybody else was an idiot who did that like me, but then once I started talking, it's Honyocker. That makes more sense. It sounds cool.
Yeah, man, that I will tell you right now, that has probably helped draw attention to the company, the name itself, just because it's so oddball, and realistically, just a quick backstory on that. It's my last name is Hahn. And so when we were kids, my grandpa, my dad's dad, would always call us little Honyockers. And so when I was sitting down, starting this stuff, it was kind of like, man, I want it to be personal, but I don't want it to seem vain, So it's like I was sitting at the gym one day. Actually, my mom came in to work out and was talking to her before she cut out, and it just kind of rolled off the tongue, man. I was like, what is a little inside thing that not everybody's going to know is personal, but and it just as soon as I said it, I was like, that's what I'm doing, man. Like, I didn't even second guess it. I did not even think, well, nobody's going to know how to pronounce this, or this is going to be a struggle for people, because I knew it. I didn't think about other people. And I'm going to tell you right now, buddy, that damn name has been butchered over the last couple of years.
Worse than what I did.
Yeah. I mean, all kinds of stuff, but it's fun, man. It adds to the fun part of it.
Yeah. So it comes from did your grandfather have a beard?
Off and on at times, man. Definitely not a year-round type of beard person.
Okay. But you are, right? Have you always been that way, or?
No, man. I'll tell you what. I started this because my sister's boyfriend at the time always had a really nice long beard, and she was making fun of me. She was like, Adam, you can't even grow a mustache, And I'd and I'd never really tried, man. I'd always kept it, just that scruff, real tight and stuff. And because I have patchy cheeks and stuff, when it's shorter, they really are pronounced how patchy my stuff is. But, I was like, you know what? Piss on it. I'm going to try this out. And I grew a handlebar mustache and I was curling it up. I rocked that for about 6 months. And when I got tired of trying to perfect it every morning, I was like, well, I didn't think I'd really grow that good of a mustache. So let me just try the beard. And I went through the shitty stages, man, just looking like a homeless dude, patches here and everywhere. But I was like, I'm letting it go. And so here's what you get if you just ignore what you think is going to be a crappy beard and just go with it, man.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm glad we got to know you a little bit as far as how that all started. So before we start getting a little bit serious, in a weak attempt to make the guests feel more comfortable this year, I want to play a game in order to get you know more intimately, if that's okay with you, right?
Yeah, man.
And so this is what I've started to do this. I did it last time, and I think you've probably seen it on the videos as well. But I'm going to say one word or term, and you need to answer as fast as you can with the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you cool with this?
Put me under pressure. I don't know how well I'll do, but let's try it.
Okay. Are you ready to play this?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to play. Who is Adam, right? Now, let me know when you're ready.
So we're doing one word answers. You give me one word and I give you just a one word answer, or
answer as fast. You can answer as fast with a word or term. Okay. First thing comes to your mind, but I'm going to say it really fast. You just got to say, you have to say first thing comes to your mind. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Hall & Oates, great 80s band or corny Philly disco duo?
Favorite band of all time.
I kind of knew that. That's why I asked. So that's your favorite band of all time, Hall & Oates.
It is.
I got to ask. So how did that happen? A guy with a massive looking beard.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I really appreciate good musicians, and I appreciate guys that can really sing even without the studio. All that crazy stuff changing and everything. But I always loved just the way that it's their sing-along songs, man. And it's just one right after another that you could put the CD in and let it go from point A to point B and just be cool with it. And I'm a rocker at heart, but I love me some Hall & Oates, man.
That's all. So have you seen his show? I don't know if it's still on. It used to be on his was it at Daryl's house or Daryl's studio? Yeah. Yep. That's pretty cool. He's had some great and amazing guests on there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. We'll get back to the game. Ever cry in a movie, and which one?
Ooh, fast answer to that would probably be Schindler's List.
Oh, really? Okay, that's a good one. My Pillow, greatest thing ever, or overpriced, overhyped bag of feathers? Yeah. I've done some homework.
Yes, you have. I love Mike Lindell, but at first that pillow sucked until I beat the shit out of it, and then I like it.
If you could push a button and make everybody in the world just 7% happier, but also place a worldwide ban on all beard styling products, would you do it?
Absolutely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're a better man than me. Only 7%. Getting rid of all my beard products? I don't know, man. That's not.
Dude, our society needs some serious help. So whatever I can do.
You're the man. You're not only you're cool looking, you're a nice guy, man. Besides agreeing to this show, what's your biggest regret?
Oh, shoot. Oh, God, that's a tough one, man. Probably not furthering my education.
Good one. What is a country you would never mind visiting in your life?
That I wouldn't mind visiting?
Or you would never want to visit?
Never want to visit?
Yeah, you never mind never visiting. Yeah, I guess that's the way to put it. Right?
Well, I'll just go with the current topic. I could care less about China.
We're gonna get into politics in the show, maybe. I think we're kind of steering that way.
Yeah, we better set up a couple more shows if we're gonna go down that road.
Bobby Knight, the GOAT or just a big bully?
To me, buddy, that's the man.
Yeah, you're a Hoosier fan, aren't you?
I'm a big Indiana guy.
Their basketball team. What's going on with what is going on?
They suck, man. They just don't want anybody that has the persona of Bob anymore, man. They don't want the coach to be the biggest thing at the university anymore. So they just keep trying to hire some mid-major guys. And, they don't want the basketball program to be as powerful as it used to be.
I love Bobby. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye fan. I think you know that.
Yeah.
Which the Hawkeyes basketball, they're doing pretty damn good this year.
They are.
Luke Garza. Yeah, the guy's just Garzilla's a monster. But man, I was a huge Bob Knight fan. Even though I was a Hawkeye fan, I loved Bob Knight. Just old school, and so I loved it. And now you have noticed they have spotted something in Bloomington, Indiana for the first time in 30 years.
Well, I mean,
spotted a football team, right?
Yeah. That ain't no kidding, brother.
Right? They were pretty good this year.
I generally don't follow the football because it's been atrocious, but earlier this season I was like, they're doing that damn good. I was like, and then, but yeah, man, whatever the Hoosiers can do, buddy. I'm born in Indiana, born in Indianapolis, so I'm just I'm a diehard Hoosier. As a matter of fact, I don't watch any other sports. I'm just a college basketball fanatic,
really?
College person. Yeah.
Cool. Would you climb a mountain or jump from a plane? Which one?
Mountain.
Yeah. What's your biggest pet peeve, not including stupid questions from annoying hosts?
Liberals.
All right, we'll get in that. Last one, Mexican food or Chinese food?
Mexican, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got any favorite places over there in Pekin or Central Illinois, or is there?
We have a real good one here locally. I was spoiled because my grandma's 100%. My grandma's full-blooded Mexican. My mom's mom.
Okay.
So I've grown up having home-cooked Mexican food my whole
so
life.
You got the good stuff.
Yeah, so I've had that, but the restaurant here is really good. They make it spicy for me, which I like. So yeah, I'm set here. 2 minutes up the road, got a decent place.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, now I appreciate you playing. I think, again, I reached out and asked a couple questions with people that know you to try to get some topics, try to shake you a little bit there. So
yeah.
So don't take it out. Don't take it out on her when you go back. You can believe that Kirby asked me. I know exactly what he asked me. So
all in good fun, man.
Yeah. So tell me this. So before Honyocker, you worked at Caterpillar Corporation in their foundry. Was that in Pekin, Illinois, right? Or is that
it's about 15 minutes from Pekin in a little town called Mapleton.
Okay. So you worked in the foundry for 10 years. So now you made mention you're from Indiana originally. What brought you here and when and how, just kind of explain that journey with me.
Yeah, I've been here since I was a little kid. I've been in Illinois since I was a little kid. My dad got job transferred here. He works for what was once Wabco, which is Komatsu now. And he took the job transfer over here. And but all my family was always still in Indianapolis. So it was the fun time for me as a kid going back on summer vacations and getting to hang out with family and stuff. And I just, dude, I don't know. I moved here when I was relatively young, but I've just always identified with being from Indiana. I don't consider myself from Illinois.
From Illinois? No, you're a Hoosier then too hard, huh? So you worked at Caterpillar. So you went to Pekin High School, probably, was that right? Or
I actually went to Morton, a little town called Morton.
Yep, I know Morton.
Yeah.
And graduated, you go to college. You said you didn't further education. You went straight to Caterpillar, or tell me about, what was Adam doing at that point in his life? What was going through his head?
Well, I'll tell you, man, early on for me, I struggled in school. I didn't know it at the time, but I struggled bad with ADD. And I couldn't focus in school. I was a very subpar student, not necessarily failing, but enough to get by. And so when I've always been kind of a dreamer, Curfy. So I've never really seen myself as somebody that wants to work 9 to 5.
Right.
But when I got out of high school, I actually was going to move back to Indianapolis to study music theory with my uncle, my dad's brother, who's a musician in Indianapolis. And, excuse me. And before I did that, I met my kids' mom. So I did move back for a couple months. And then of course, you know how young kids are when you got, a female. So I had to move back, but, it was one of those things where I didn't have a college education after high school. My dad and everybody has always been a blue collar worker. So it was like, okay, let's get to work. Had a kid on the way and stuff like that. So
got responsibilities.
So applied for Caterpillar and got hired on at the foundry. And worked third shift for many, many years there. And then one day
third shift, huh?
Yeah. I started out on second for about a year, and then I went to third and worked that for the majority, man.
That's interesting. I've worked third shift before in my life, and that's just it's an odd thing, but once you get used to it, you get used to it. But it's still odd, right? Especially when the weekends come and stuff like that, you try to adjust, then you have to adjust back. But I mean, you may mention though, you're working here. I mean, did you ever sit there in the back of your mind? You said you're a dreamer. You have ADD, right? And what's a funny, interesting fact is a lot of entrepreneurs do have ADD, right? Who had that I'd say learning disability, whatever. They've struggled in high school because they just can't sit still at a 9 to 5. Did that affect your job, or were you constantly thinking, I've got to do something else, or there is something else I want to do? This isn't for me. Did you know it, or did you just, was there a time you just say, no, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life? And how did you deal with that?
Yeah, well, for me, I don't have ADHD, so I'm not that hyper person. I'm the person that can't keep my mind focused for more than 2 seconds, or if it's multiple things going on at one time. I went through a period where I would just get so frustrated over minuscule things, man. And down to when it was Christmas time, you'd have to, we'd go over to my mom's, we'd have to pack up everybody's gifts to leave, and it would become overwhelming for me. I couldn't, and it would cause physical outbursts, man, punching things and getting irate. And so I decided to go ahead.
And you're a big guy, so you could do some damage.
Well, I don't know about big guy, man. I'm trying to lose weight and become
muscular guy, right? Yeah.
Right? But yeah, so I ended up going to the doctor, man, just to be like, what the hell? I do have a little bit of family history of bipolarism and things like that. So I went to the doctor, and he was like, Adam, he goes, you're not getting mad because you just have a hot temper. He was like, he read off some questions for me. I mean, take questionnaire stuff. He goes, see, what you're doing here is your brain isn't working as fast as most people. So it starts to, be like a TV channel that's all blurry and
right.
And you don't know, you can't process fast enough. So you turn to anger. And so, man, I'll tell you what, when I got on the medication, like my mom to this day says, don't you ever stop taking that medication. Like it's like
that big of a difference. Really?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So as far as it affecting my job, it never really affected my job. It was just a matter of sometimes when I get overwhelmed, a couple things going on at one time, I tend to get a little frustrated, but job performance, man, I've always moved up wherever I was at. When I worked at Caterpillar, I was there for 6 months. They made me a lead man over people that had 30 years in there. They were taking me on trips to the Lafayette, Indiana Caterpillar plant to do quality control inspections.
So you were moving up pretty quickly and doing well.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And you just didn't like it?
That's just work ethic, man. But as far as me not liking it, 10 years of working in the foundry, man, it just I get bored easy.
Yeah.
And I mean, 10 years isn't a little bit of time, but I mean, it got to the point, man, where one day I'm very spontaneous about things. One day I woke up and I'm like, I'm not doing this shit no more.
Yeah.
And so I talked to Emily. I'm like, what do I want to do that I could have fun doing? And that's when I went ahead and got my personal trainer degree or certification.
Was fitness always a big thing for you prior to that? Is that why you kind of leaned it? And did fitness help you deal with ADD too, or trying to I don't know, some people work out to try to distract themselves a little bit and get out that type of energy. Did it help you? Is that why? I mean, tell me.
Yeah, I didn't get into lifting until I met a guy at Caterpillar, and I started working out with him in my early 20s, and it just has always stuck with me since then in one form or fashion. It's kind of one of those things where I've been doing it long enough now to where it's just a routine. Like if I don't do it as part of the day, then I don't feel right, but It definitely helps get frustration out. It definitely helps make you feel better. Your endorphins get kicked in. You feel like you're not a lazy piece of shit. I mean, it helps you that way for sure.
So how do you go again? So you moved up at Goals, right? You became the GM, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you may mention that to me earlier. What made you decide then? I mean, obviously you had stubble. Did you have the beard then, or did you have the stubble, or how did you make the transition from a stubble-faced guy who's working out at the gym to saying, you know what, I want to do this beard product thing? How did you make that transformation?
I made that transformation because during the time at the gym is when my sister basically challenged me, told me that I couldn't grow the mustache. So once I started just growing facial hair, then I knew I needed to use some product to kind of help it, And so the products that I tried, there were a few that were okay, much like your intro. I did try one though that kind of real early on that really dried my beard hairs out. And I'm like, this sucks, man. And so
Right.
I just started doing research on making stuff for myself. And then it kind of just went from there, Curfy. Just
So
bought
you,
some
I mean,
stuff.
yeah. So you just got kind of focused on it and dove into it because, and that's great. Because you're right. I mean, when I first started growing my beard, and I started using beard products because it was kind of crazy at first, right? And I didn't know how to tame it, and I did want to wear it a little bit longer than normal. There's just some crappy stuff out there, and people would send me stuff. I'm like, oh man, it smells kind of like waxy, or it just stinks.
Mm.
And some of them are out there. There's one product, I'm not going to mention its name, that I smell that's in like a major uh, barber salon, or haircutting place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's soapy smelling. I'm like, I don't want that stuff in my beard, man. I want it to be, something different. And then when I got your stuff, I was like, whoa. I mean, I got some other stuff, but man, that it just really hit me. And you just had some scents that were different. And like I said, a lot of them are manly, and that's why I fell in love with them. So, good job. I'm glad you made that move, man.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother. But I that's kind of the thing with the way I create, man, is I look at having a beard as kind of like a manly thing. And I know there's a million different ways you can classify manly, right? To everybody,
Right.
manly may be something different, but when I scent and create, it definitely has to be manly, which kind of puts me sometimes at a disadvantage, man, because a lot of the popular stuff out there is kind of on the fruity food scent stuff, and I can't do it, man. I can't create stuff like that.
Right. Is that because the guys want to wear it, or is that because the guys' girlfriends want them to wear it?
Well, that's a good question, man. But being in the beard business, I see a lot of guys talk and stuff, man. They seem to really enjoy that stuff, and to each their own, man. I just know I'm not going to put out anything that I know I wouldn't wear.
So you're at the gym, you started doing the beard thing. What was your very first scent? And then when did you realize, man, I have something here?
Well, my very first one that I did was the one that I just re-released for a short run called 57. And I made that one with my dad in mind. He's always been a very clean cut, masculine man, a manly man, but always properly groomed and took care of himself. So I wanted something that kind of represented that. And so I came up with that one, man. And what I did was I'd just take the stuff to the gym, and I'd have plenty of guys there, obviously. And I'd be like, hey, man, smell this. Let me know what you think. And the more things I did, the more positive feedback I started doing. So I was like, here, take a bottle of that, $5 here, $5. I thought, well, I'll just do this
away, man.
I'll just do this as a little, at the time I didn't even have labels done up, or anything like that. So, but, early on, and then I just started tinkering with other stuff, and found my specific way that I like to create scent profiles, and just have ran with it, buddy.
Yeah. When did you know, hey, I have a business here? Or what was that defining moment? Do you remember?
I think the gym played a big part in it, Curfy, because of the feedback I was getting. And it wasn't like, yeah, this stuff is good. I'd have people come back to me the next day and be like, dude, I got this stuff in and I love it, man. And they'd start turning other people onto it, and other people onto it that they know. And
how many scent profiles are out there?
For me, or just in general?
In general, if I was going to go out to your website, how many are out there?
Oh, okay. For the website, for me personally on my site, probably, I don't know, 7 to 10. I'd have to count them off the top of my head, but I don't want it to grow much more than that. I mean, there's always a possibility to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, creating new. But, you and I have talked about that. Kind of just want to slow the roll on that and worry about more of the growing the business stuff with what I already have.
Yeah. And you've been primarily retail then, mostly on your website, or have you done much wholesale?
Well, I mean, in some barbershops here locally and online, direct to customer mainly, just because it's so easy to reach people, obviously.
So what's your favorite scent that you ever created?
My personal favorite is my Christmas scent called Snowblind.
I've tried that.
Yeah, I like it because it's deep, a little bit smoky, and has some depth to it. I like darker scents personally, man. The humidor is my best creation ever. I don't know that I'll ever be able to replicate that in my mind. There's a lot of people who would disagree because a lot of my scents are rather unique. You know, I have one called the Elder that is super, super unique. I've got one of the best barbershops on the scent, according to people. Avenue Blue has always been listed as one of the best barbershop scents out there.
Yes.
So I've been fortunate to have my stuff praised rather highly.
Hey, and #biz, people are like raving about
yeah,
it.
dude.
Some people are sitting there saying this is your best ever. And I'm like, wow, that says a lot because humidor to me, it was just like on a different level than nothing I've ever smelled like before. And I was just like, that would be real. I mean, that's a compliment for people to say that, but so yeah, that's pretty cool. So I guess I have to say #biz is my favorite, but I don't know.
Sure you do, man.
Yeah.
Damn straight,
but humidor is that's that's kind of the pinnacle for me. So
yeah, man, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people out there that give me a lot of feedback through direct messages and stuff. And there's a lot of people that got a hold of me after we released #biz that were like, Adam, it's the best, cigar, bourbon, leather combination I've ever smelled,
because that was our challenge, right? When you asked me about my profile, like, what do you want it to be? Who is Curfy? Who is he? And I said, well, this is me. I have a cigar and bourbon, so I want to do that. And I could kind of tell you're like, man, that's been done before. You're probably thinking, I don't want to. Is this going to be a waste of time? But man, you went at it, and you went at it hard. And what you came up with was exact. I mean, it carries almost like a cologne smell at the end of it, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'll tell you, man. Like that's when I knew that I had the formulation right. Enough to send to you the sample bottle to make sure you liked it was when after I had it in beard, it morphed into something that was just, it was like, okay, you get some leather and some bourbon up front. And then all of a sudden, like as time goes on, you just get this combination of them all blending so well together that you're right. It just kind of comes its own cologne type of sophisticated manliness. And I was like, all right, we're rolling with this one as long as he's good with it.
Yeah. And as soon as I smelled it, I loved it. And my wife smelled it. She's like, what are you wearing? And I said, that's #biz. And it's kind of fun. And what's really fun to sit there and to walk into a place. I've walked into places to pick up a pizza and someone go, man, you smell really good. What are you wearing? It's so cool to say, hey, I'm wearing me.
Right. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And a lot of my people, friends and followers, they've gone out. I know they've gone out and bought it. I mean, the scent has done amazing. It sold out in the first day in record time. Is that right?
That is correct, man.
Second release, it sold out again, what, a day or two, right?
Yep. The first run and the second run.
Where are we out in the third run? Still doing well, or?
Yeah, the third. Man, I just I sell some every day, man.
Really?
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's still moving good. And what you'll find, bud, is at least in the beer stuff, because there's so many companies, Curfy. I mean, there's thousands, man. And so what you'll find is the initial release and maybe the follow-up, because of the people that didn't get them or didn't get a chance to get it, those will sell quick. And then what I do is I'll just move it into the lineup. And then as new people start to come along and try other stuff, then they'll see that and they'll want to buy that. So it's really one of those things is if it's a winner, it'll have longevity. And I definitely think this one has the potential for longevity, man.
Yeah, I mean, it got great reviews on YouTube in the beard community. It's some of the individuals that do that. And that's, so hats off to you. I mean, I truly believe you're an artist. Do you think that's it? I mean, right now for a while, do you think that you have enough profile sense that you say, you know what, this is what I want? Or is there anything out there that you said, I kind of want to tackle this, or are you good for now?
I do have one that I'm working on right now. At one point in time, I had a scent called North Country, and it got taken off the lineup. Sold really well at first, but it didn't have that staying power like I was just talking about. So I want to replace that because I want an outdoorsy Western United States profile. I love that vibe. So I'm working on one to replace that. But like we've talked before, buddy, I don't plan creations. If I get an idea, then I'll sit down. If I don't have one, then I work hard on just getting new people to buy what I already have because I'm confident in that. I don't ever just sit down with some fragrance and essential oils and just try to make something out of nothing because I do not work well that way.
Right.
I create these. It's funny. We're talking about beard products, but I create these in an artist format where I will envision something in my head and then I'll pick pieces out of that picture in my head from a sense standpoint and combine them to get the overall feel of that picture I had in my head. And that's kind of how I create. So if I don't have that picture and I'm not ready to create, then it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. So let's talk about the process of creating a scent. I mean, someone who has ADD, right? And I think you're an artist. Are you a perfectionist? Is it difficult to go through that process? I mean, explain it to me. How often do you go through something like that and you just like keep tossing it till you finally get it? Or is it just something that it comes natural to you?
The humidor was done on the first try, dude. And,
Really?
and I mean, that just goes to show you how much that one was just meant to be. But then I have one that is called body language, and, body language. I mean, I fought with that one. I knew exactly what I wanted it to be, and I just could not. It was so close, but it wasn't right. I'd wake up at 3 a.m, get up and start working on it again, just because I'd wake up out of a dead sleep, pissed that couldn't get it right. So it's sometimes it's a chore, man. And
Yeah.
I find myself, if I try too hard, then I fail. I just need to sometimes walk away and come back with a clear head and go back at it, whether that's a week later, the next day, a month later, whatever it will be. But sometimes it can be a bear. Other times it's like I'll nail it right off the bat. So kind of a toss of the coin, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so tell me a little bit about your product, and we kind of talked about the process, but it's not just about creating the scent and the smell, because that's really important. At the end of the day, I mean, it's like a car. It might look good, but it runs like shit.
Right.
Nobody wants it. Your products work really well. And, I think everyone uses, oils and balms and butters differently. I use, for me, when I get having a shorter beard, but still long, but not extremely long, I get out of the shower, towel dry my beard, go put the oil in it, let it kind of sit and simmer a little bit, blow dry it the rest of the way. I do blow dry it. And then I'll put the comb through it and the brush, and then I'll put the balm in it to give it that, that staying power. I think where a lot of products fail is right there, right? Does it do what it's supposed to do, or is it? What I hear a lot of time is it's too greasy. Man, I feel mine. You can see mine stay in there. It's full, and it's not greasy at all. I mean, how did you get to that point? And I mean, how do you get to that process? That's what just blows me away.
Well, there's first of all, you have to know what the hell you're wanting from a product, right?
Right.
And as the maker, it's a little easier to do than you guys having to search out for the one company who decided they had the same vision for what they wanted in a product as you do. I can just make it the way I want it, So, for me, I wanted, like when you're talking about the balms, my balms have been highly touted for quite some time now, because they're just that perfect mix between very workable in your hand and still giving you the hold without it being so stiff that it's nasty.
Right.
The butters, my butters are a lot different than anybody else's butters, because when I made my butter, I wanted it to be what it was supposed to be, a butter. So it's highly, butters are a huge part in the ingredients. A lot of people will put more of the carrier oils blended in, so it's a little thinner, breaks down a lot easier. But
it becomes greasy then.
Excuse me, I got this frog in my throat. But
yes, that's all right.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes greasy, and I did not want that. So, I mean, after all, I just put beard oil in. Why do I want to put a butter that is primarily oils in on top of it? So people will notice with my beard butters that they are pretty thick out of the tin, but as soon as you warm them up in your hands, it melts down to nothing, and you can apply it. So it's all just me tinkering around originally, trying to figure out the right ratio of butters versus oils versus waxes. And it's a trial and error thing until you get it right, man. And obviously you use your own beard as a test, guinea pig. And
everyone's beard's different.
Right. So, and that's kind of the cool thing, man. I'm not going to tell you Honyocker is the best thing since sliced bread. Everybody's preferences is different, on what they want and stuff. So, but I know that it works for my beard. And I told Emily, I was like, if it works for mine, damn it, it's going to work for other people's. It may not work for everybody, but it's definitely going to work for others. So we're going to roll with it.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So, I mean, you use social media a lot, right? Every time you roll something out, I mean, you're constantly on Instagram, Facebook, putting, videos out there, and I see you on YouTube and on different types of shows and what have you. Is that difficult, putting yourself out there like that?
For me at the beginning, it really was, Curfy, because like I said in my last show that I just did with a couple of good friends that have been around for a long time with me, I'm somewhat of an introvert, man. I've gotten better over the couple of years doing this, but man, early on, I remember Emily telling me, we were standing outside one day and she said, Adam, you're going to have to put yourself out there or you might as well just wrap this up and give it up because like you have to get out of your shell a little bit. And so over time, forcing myself to do stuff, facing my fear head on and just telling it to F off, and you just get better at it. So I've definitely become, do I still have a little bit of anxiety prior, like before I hopped on with you? I'm like, all right, man, it's go time. I feel like I'm some rock and roll star,
Not at all. No. I mean, but tell me about putting yourself out there, just not on video, but on social media, but putting your product out there. Because we talked about, this is you, this is your creation, man. You're an artist. I mean, how does it feel when someone just praises you? I mean, do you get anxiety before you release something? Okay. Do you stress about it? Or do you just say, I really don't care. I like it. It's good. Or do you stress about it? And how does it make you feel when they do praise you?
Well, if I get one done that I know will appeal to the masses, I don't sweat it that much. But a lot of my stuff is very unique. So a lot of my stuff has never been done before, to where I do get a little bit of nerves, like, oh man, well, I know I see everybody liking, apple pie and this, that, the other in their beard. Are they going to like this manly stuff? So I mean, it's died down a little bit as far as my nervousness release and stuff, but I always get really good feedback. But yeah, man, when somebody DMs me or reaches out to me and, man, Adam, this is the best stuff I've tried. I'll save that DM for a day or so I can go back and keep reading it. And it keeps me motivated, keeps me humble. I truly appreciate, I'm still a small business, man. So I still can afford the time to thank everybody genuinely for any purchases and things like that, which I like that part of it.
What about negative feedback? Have you ever received that? Or tell me about a time when you have received negative feedback and how did you handle that?
Yeah. I had one of the bigger reviewers in the beard game do a review for me one time. And I didn't even know he was releasing it. Usually when we set up a thing to do a review, the person will get a hold of me, be like, hey, I'm dropping this tomorrow at 9 a.m. or whatever the heck the time is, and I was getting ready for work one morning when I still worked at the gym, and my DM started blowing up that this guy put out the video and it was negative. I'm like, I didn't even know he was putting it out yet. So I got on and watched it. And, for him, he said that it made him sneeze, and different things like that. And, everybody else in the community was real taken back because Curfew, I'll tell you right now, man,
made him sneeze.
Yeah, like he was, I don't know whether it was the essential oils in it or whatever. He said that the co-wash burn his skin. Yeah, like I'm not real sure. I've never had anybody else say that, but my reaction to that was I literally got on the YouTube channel. I watched it and I got down in the comments and I told him I appreciate his time. I know the masses love the product, man. And if I got offended by 1 out of 1,000 that say something, then I'd lose my mind. I have been fortunate to have just a killer hardcore team following on these products, man. Yeah, that's really the only negative one I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I want people to be honest. If it's not right for you, then it ain't right for you.
Yeah. Well, and I think you bring up a good point, right? And I think what you did and how you handled it is exactly how you handle it. I mean, I'm in social media and digital marketing, and I've been in politics. And, the first reaction is when someone negatively comments or gives you negative feedback is to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's like the worst thing you can do.
Correct.
And I was just talking to an individual the other day. I was sitting down having coffee with him, and she was talking about how this individual made a horrible negative review about her on their Facebook page. And she went on there and defended herself and got kind of shitty with her. The next thing you know, the lady took that review and put it all over Yelp, everywhere you can think of. And it was on every single Facebook page locally, and just went after her. And I said, well, if you maybe didn't attack her in your response, you probably wouldn't have had that, right? Sometimes it's just to let it go, take it for what it is and move on. Appreciate their business, right? Appreciate them reviewing it and just let it be. But, feeding negativity with negativity is just going to blow up in your face. And it's one thing I tell people when they handle social media: do not get in arguments in your comment section or anybody's comment section, because it will not go well for you at all. The reality is social media is here and gone tomorrow, right? People will forget about it, but you keep going, that stays out there a lot longer. So
yeah, I agree 100%. Plus, man, I don't have time. I'm not a 5-year-old kid. I'm not looking for drama over beard products.
Yeah.
Feel how you want to feel, baby, and I'm moving on. It's as simple as that.
And sometimes I can be a 5-year-old kid, not because I if you know me and you follow me, there's sometimes you like to know I like to poke the bear every now and then just to see what kind of reactions I can get out of people. But it's nothing in regards to me. It's usually politics or something funny. So
yeah, well, that's okay.
I don't know how okay it is, but I'm kind of sadistic that way. Sometimes I like say, you know what, let's go drop a bomb and let's see what shit can I stir up today.
Yeah,
I need some entertainment. Let's see what happens. But so now, I mean, you got this is your business, man. You got it going. It's full time. Right. I mean, is that stressful? Or is this kind of like, what? I'm happy. This is what I want to be doing. I'm doing something for the first time in my life that this is what I want to be doing. Tell me about that feeling.
Well, I'm definitely always get caught up in times where when I finally get some alone time, maybe everybody's asleep already and I'm actually getting I'm a night owl. It still stems from me working third shift all those years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my time to reflect, for lack of better terms. And sometimes I can sit back and be like, damn, man, I started this just as a thing for myself. And, obviously I'm not huge by no means, but even to get it to the point where I've gotten it in just 2 years, I'm like, man, dude, it's pretty cool, man. And to have people that enjoy it as much as they do. And like you said earlier, having people get a hold of you and tell you how much they enjoy something that you literally made with your hands and came up with yourself. Mm-hmm. It's definitely gratifying, man, but I don't take it for granted. Like I said earlier, I've always been this dreamer type of person. My uncle, I mentioned earlier, is a musician and is a very, very good musician in the Indianapolis area. And it's always nice now to be able to, since I can't do music, this is my form of art. So it keeps you constantly able to think and constantly able to create new things. It's not like, well, I got to go in here and make some of this now, because you're constantly have the opportunity to come up with new things if you so choose, and your brain always gets to be exercised by thinking of things. So far so good, man. I really enjoy being able to work for myself. Obviously, there's always those periods where it's a little down compared to maybe last month, so you got to make sure that you get your shit squared away. But being able to do what I want to do, wake up when I want to wake up, grind as hard or as little as I want to, is a nice period in my life right now. I'll say that.
And that is, I mean, I just think that's awesome. You followed a passion, you went with it, you love to do what you do. I mean, you're an artist, and I made comments about that several times. So I'm glad you're not offended when I say that, because I truly believe that's what you are. But to take your art, put it out in the world, to have it so well received, and to see you put the passion behind it, and to be able to support yourself and your family with it, that is just gratifying to me. And I it's tough. It's really hard. I mean, there's days when I started my business and I still think, like, what the hell am I doing? Sometimes it would be easier just to have that 9 to 5, where it's like you sit there and go, the stability behind it. But you know what? It's only stable until it's not. And I have been in that situation before, and that sucks. And dealing with that type of emotion, I believe, is way worse than failing at something myself, right? I have nobody to blame but myself if I fail. The others, you can come up with lots of excuses, but man, what you do is an amazing thing. I think it's totally cool. I hats off to you. I wish more people would follow their dreams like that and put as much passion as you do, man. So you got a great product. I truly, truly, truly love it, and truly enjoyed having you on, man.
Well, I truly, truly appreciate you having me on, buddy. It's always a good time to sit down and talk to you, man. I know we get to talk every once in a while, but I was really looking forward to getting down and sitting down and getting to spend a little bit of time with you.
So where do we take this, man? What's the next level for Honyocker and Adam, man? Where are we going with this? You're gonna get a factory down there and start kicking this stuff out. Producing?
Eventually that would be great, man. I mean, we're really close to reaching the next level, man. So I really want to focus this year on, like I said, maybe taking a backseat to creating new things and focusing more on growing.
That's a great idea.
Growing it as a whole, because we are really close to breaking through another barrier. It's just about getting it out there. So I need to sit down and focus on that a little more than sitting in the lab, for lack of better terms, thinking of new things and selling to the same people. I need to grow it a little bit. So that's the focus for this year.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, you got the beard, you're manly, right? And you're pushing masculinity back out there in a time where I think sometimes masculinity has been attacked. And, in the past, beards have not been always well received. They made a comeback. I always say that's because some, I better watch what I say, but some wimp who couldn't grow a beard decided that it's unprofessional to have one in the workplace. But they're making a comeback, and you don't see that as often. But, masculinity, it has been attacked. I mean, I feel like it's been attacked, and sometimes it's wrong to be masculine. And, I have no problem. My shirt says what make America bearded again, right?
Right on.
I mean, come on, Abe Lincoln, Santa Claus, Vikings, Jesus. How could you go wrong with those individuals, right? So
that's right. Man.
What are your thoughts about beards in the I guess in the professional or the corporate world, or just masculinity in general? Is it?
Yeah, I think society has changed a lot in the facts that, tattoos and things like that are being forced to be acceptable because so many people have that stuff these days. Mm-hmm. When I started growing this thing out, I wasn't real sure how the gym owners would take it, but I kind of just put caution to the wind and knew that my performance on the job was such that they would be stupid to tell me anything different, like shave my beard. And I had made it known that if I had to shave the beard, I was going to leave.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes you got it. Sometimes it's, it'd be different if I didn't take care of the beard, Curfy. I understand, you want your employees to look, representable and stuff. So, if I just woke up in the morning and didn't do anything with this Brillo pad I have on my face, I can see where maybe, hey, Adam, do something with that, kind of like an employee coming to work and not brushing their hair or not brushing their teeth or whatever, but, as long as it's well taken care of, man, beards can look good. You can throw a suit on with a beard. You could rock whatever you want with the beard and it still look good. So it's a matter of just taking care of it.
Yeah, I was sitting in the barber shop one day and they were, I was going with the straight razor and all that fun stuff. And the guy next to me was like, man, I would love to grow a beard, but man, my boss, she doesn't like him. And she said it's against company policy. And I'm like, well, then quit. Yeah. I mean, why would you ever work for somebody who's going to base your performance off of what you look like? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, here, I'm in the business community, right? I'm a business consultant and, I plant my flag. If you think it's unprofessional, that's great. But at the end of the day, if you're going to judge me based what's on my face and not the fact that I just saved you $1.1 million, so I took your revenue from 2.2 to 5, then that's on you. You've got you've got a problem, not me.
That's right.
And so, go with the clean shaven punk who doesn't know shit, or go with me, the cool guy. So
that's exactly. It's a good opinion, man.
Right. Well, my man, thank you for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the collaboration. I'm so stoked for you that #biz was such a huge success. And I look forward not only to helping it grow, but helping you wherever I can. I mean, I truly appreciate our friendship we've had. And, hopefully, the continued success for Honyocker Beard products goes and, you reach your dreams, man. I truly, truly appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And I'm glad that you like the product, and I'm honored that you actually reached out to me to do the collab, man, because like we talked about earlier, there's a million different other companies out there that you could have talked about doing that with. So the opportunity, it was all my pleasure, man. I'm glad it's worked out well. It's going to stick around. We'll keep making it until people tell me they're not going to buy it anymore, which I don't think is going to happen. So, so we'll keep Curfy's line out there rocking, baby.
All right. The hashtag, but actually I've got a bottle right here. That's what it looks like. Let me hold it here for a second so it stays focused.
Yeah, your camera's better than mine.
Yeah, so this is that #biz right there, guys. There's actually the podcast. So yeah, pretty cool. Awesome stuff. Before I sign off, man, is there anything else that you want to plug? Anything coming up that you want to get out there?
Not really, man. I mean, not really. Like I said, we fly by the seat of the pants, man. I don't have any big announcements of any new releases, man. I want to take my time on that. But anybody that listens that hasn't tried Honyocker, I encourage you to do so. We're pretty confident in the product and we think you'll like it. And, a lot of misconception real quick. I'm not gonna take up a lot of time, but
no, you're fine. Take time.
A little misconception is, well, I don't grow a long beard like yours, Adam, or whatever, but the oil is for the skin, not necessarily for the hair. So if you are somebody who, like I used to be, that used to keep a tight scruff type thing and your face starts itching or whatever, that's what the oil's for. So you just put some in your palm, get your fingers and just rub it into your skin. And that will take care of that itch. It will make it a lot more comfortable for you. If you were to get to like Curfy's length or whatever, then you can start using the butters and balms and things like that. But definitely, if you're somebody who likes to keep any kind of beard, I definitely suggest some beard oil to help with your skin. And but yeah, man.
Well, you know what I say, men who think beards are too itchy may find manlyhood too heavy. So that's my
I like it.
I probably should watch what I say, right?
I like it, man.
Oh man. You want to share where people can find you on social media or anything like that?
Yeah, man. I'm at on Instagram at Honyocker Beard Co, and on Facebook, Honyocker Beard Co. Website, www.honyockerbeardco.com. And just for your listeners, man, like if anybody hasn't tried it and they want to try it out, if they want to use the code FIRST15, that'll save them some money on the first order. So
awesome. You guys got that code 15, you said?
First 15.
First 15.
Like
all right.
Spelled out the word FIRST 15.
All right, cool. Yep. Awesome there. Well, there you have it, friends. My good friend, Mr. Adam Hahn from Honyocker Beard Company. Love you, man. And thank you for being a friend and coming on the show. Truly appreciate it.
Right back at you, buddy. Good hanging with you.
All right, man. I want to remind everyone to subscribe to the show on your favorite platform and then leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed the show today. As always, I'm grateful for all of our listeners who tune in on all the platforms all over the world. I also want to share with everyone that you can purchase, as we mentioned, Honyocker Beard products at www.honyockerbeardco.com. co.com. I don't know. I don't really need to say www anymore, do I?
I always do it too. I think
I know, right?
I'm getting old.
Right. But anyway, there you can purchase his new hit scent called #Biz, and actually soon to be the award-winning scent #Biz.
Yeah, man.
Based off our podcast and myself. And you can pick up #Biz, ACS Wolfpack, and other #Biz with the Beard products, merchandise and gear at my website at acsexec.com. See, I left the www.
Attaboy.
There. Okay. Well, there you have it, friends. Another show's in the books, but never fear. The beard will always be here. Until next episode, same beard time, same beard channels. Thank you for listening to #Biz with the Beard podcast. Remember, every genius idea starts with the stroke of a beard. Have a successful day.